Both here and in Vienna, both in Minnesota and Vienna, I teach a course called Data Analysis and Decision Making. And in that class, we teach, I guess it's really referred to now as business analytics. Statistics has become more and more important in business. And the idea is really to talk about fact-based decision making. So fact-based, rather than making a decision on the basis of your opinions, your gut feel, you need to back it up with data. So we begin with very simple kinds of statistics, graphical statistics, numerical statistics, very simple kinds of things. But then we move from there into what's called inferential statistics. And with inferential statistics, we want to take the result of a sample, a small set of data, and try to extrapolate that to an entire, say, population or a business process. And sometimes you can do that effectively, sometimes you cannot do that effectively. And what we try to teach in this class is when can you do this well and when is it not going to work out so well. So we move from, in inferential statistics, we cover two basic inferential techniques in statistics. And there are really only two of them. One is hypothesis testing, and one is something called estimation or interval estimation. It's kind of all basic fundamentals for the first couple of days. Then we get into the really fun stuff, which is data mining, predictive modeling. This is all basically regression analysis, but computer scientists and statisticians and operations researchers are developing more sophisticated techniques all of the time to mine data to be able to make good decisions. So we spend a good deal of the time, I'd say over 25% of the class, on statistical modeling and predictive modeling. And then we finish off with experimental design and quality control. Those are two application areas of all the fundamental concepts that we develop in the first couple of days. Well, I think what they require is, first of all, an appreciation that decisions should be data-based, should be fact-based. So that's the first thing. They learn how to collect data. They learn a little bit about sampling, randomness. They learn a bit about designing experiments. Designing experiments are widely used across the United States and across the world now, and in Japan, for developing new products, new processes, and often are embedded within what's called the Six Sigma system. And a lot of the students already knew about Six Sigma when they show up for class. Anyway, experimental design is widely used in that to solve problems, improve processes, improve products. So we talk about experimental design and regression, a little bit of quality control. Once we've got a process working correctly, we want to just keep it working correctly. We want to control the process. And it doesn't necessarily mean a manufacturing process. It could be a service process as well. So those are I think what the students get out of this is an appreciation for the use of data in decision making. It's not a mathematics course. It's how do we use data effectively to make decisions, to forecast, to make predictions. And predictions are very, very important in guiding your business. Okay, so the question really is about what are the kinds of methods I use in my class. And I use really a spectrum of things. First of all, before the students begin the class, they've done some reading, they've solved some problems, and worked an actual group assignment where they analyze some business data before we show up for the face-to-face section. When they do the assignments are both online and we call them online and offline. Offline means pencil and a paper, sit down, write out answers to the problems in the book, and be done. What's kind of exciting is the online problems now. So the students can log into a website and then they begin working problems right at the computer. And what's really neat about that is, of course, if you make a mistake, you actually have 3 tries. If you make a mistake, the computer will come back and say, I think you're missing this point. here are some things you might want to read about, and then come back and try it again. So the students get instantaneous feedback, and they love it. They just really, really love it. The first time I used it was in Vienna, and I said, let's try this. If you don't like it, I won't ever use it again. And at the end of the class, they said, no, you always have to use this online system because of that immediate feedback. It's kind of a reward. Sometimes the computer comes back and says, great job, you got it right on the first try. So it's a lot of fun. And after the module, there's another set of assignments that are both write it out and another set that are done on the computer. There's also a group assignment, kind of really a data mining kind of project at the end. In the class, combination of lecture, I'll stand up and talk about some new concepts. I try not to do that more than 45 minutes or an hour. And then we break out, we work problems in class. They have a chance to do some of their homework during class. Bring everybody back into the classroom. Someone gets called on to come up and present the answers. So it's really a combination of a little bit of lecture for me, problem solving, discussion, class discussion about some of these issues. I think that's kind of the way I run that class. Executive MBA students are my favorite group because they're a bit older, they're more mature, they've worked for a while, and they understand the importance of database decision making, and they understand the problems inherent in database decision making. So they have a real appreciation for statistics when they come into the class. They may not know any statistics, they may not really know how we can use it to help us make decisions, but they have an appreciation for it. And as they learn the methods, they're very excited about taking them back to the company. Often at the end of the start of the second day, I'll have students come in and say, I'm already using the methods to solve problems at work. That's quite different than an undergraduate student who's 19 years old and for whom the world is kind of black and white. So I like teaching the mature students who are already out there. Of course, they're all bright, and so all these students have great people skills. They're really enjoyable to teach. I just returned today from teaching 4 days in Vienna, and it was one of the best teaching experiences of my life. We just had so much fun with these students. So do I encourage them to bring life data from the company? Absolutely. In fact, I have these two group projects, if you will. One is a pre-module project, one is a post-module project. And they are required to use someone's company data. So there may be 5 students in a group. They get together and they need to pick data sets, a database or a data set from one of the companies, analyze that data, bring it in, and present the results and write it up. So yeah, their work is focused around real-world situations.